What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a video for you all talking about Bowser's Fury and giving you guys my final verdict on the game. Quickly start off, the game is fantastic. I'd rate it a 9.5 out of 10. Although it was a short game, I'm gonna give you guys my reasonings to it. So obviously Bowser's Fury mode is a little addition added to Super Mario 3D World. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury are actually completely different games, but they're packaged in one. I personally thought Bowser's Fury leaned more towards being like Odyssey than it did Super Mario 3D World. If they had released Bowser's Fury mode as an additional kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey as a, DLC, I felt like it would have been more appropriate for us to look at it like, oh, this is a part of Odyssey, than it was a part of 3D World. But still, they definitely gave you that 3D World element by, making the whole game based in Lake Lapcat. Obviously, it's a play on the cat suit. And then you had Furious Bowser, who infiltrated Lake Lapcat. We don't really know where Lake Lapcat is, probably somewhere in the Mushroom Kingdom, in the 3D World Mushroom Kingdom. So the game pretty much begins in Lake Lapcat with Furious Bowser wreaking havoc on the lake. Mario then moves towards some Fury blocks where Bowser ends up breaking, and then you obtain your first cat shine. I thought it was really interesting how the game actually started out like that, because throughout the game, scattered around the whole map, there are a ton of Bowser Fury blocks. So it's a kind of way to teach you, in order to destroy these Fury blocks, you need Bowser to destroy them, and they kind of also work as protection for you from Bowser's fire blasts and fireballs, if you know how to, position yourself in such a way where you're not getting a direct hit from the fireball. So essentially, you travel around Lake Lapcat from one island to the next, and as you travel between these islands, new shines will appear, new objectives, new missions for you to complete in order to obtain these shines. And then when you go back to previous islands that you haven't completed, new shines will also appear. So it's made pretty straightforward. It's a very, very easy experience to understand right off the bat. One thing that I also really, really loved about this game is that you don't have to follow a specific path. It's not like 3D Land or 3D World or New Super Mario Bros. Where you follow a level per level basis, and then you complete the world and then you move on to the next. They kind of, once you pass the first little section of the game, you're free to play the game as you want. Like, you could literally go get shines from the end of the game and then go back to the beginning of the game at the end of the game and then collect those shines if you wanted to. So not every two people playing the game will have the same exact route that they're following in order to beat the game 100%. Another thing was, I loved how the entire game was based in just one area. So if you really think about it, it's technically the biggest 3D world experience for a Mario game in one area. Like, there was no kingdom in Odyssey that equaled the size of Lake Lapcat, and there was no level in Super Mario 64 or in Super Mario Galaxy that even came close to being the size of Lake Lapcat. Lake Lapcat was something huge. I honestly got Wind Waker vibes from it. I got Breath of the Wild vibes from it, from seeing the backgrounds. Obviously, I got a lot of Super Mario Odyssey vibes just because of the fact that the game had that free camera control where you were able to move the camera however you wanted and play the game however you wanted, which was really, really awesome. And then obviously the cat shines are equivalent to the moon shines in Super Mario Odyssey. Another thing that I really, really loved about the game was you had an inventory, of course, and this inventory allowed you to carry as many items as you wanted. They gave you like 5 or 6 different item options to play with throughout the game. The majority of the items that I ended up using were the cat suit, the Tanuki suit, and the fire flower. I barely used the boomerang suit. I barely used the other cat bell suit. And I barely used just regular Mushroom Mario. You also had the Superstar ability, of course, which was always hidden in different blocks. You had the Propeller ability, which allowed you to propel with Mario. And then you had the Coin Block ability, which allowed you to obviously collect coins at an infinite rate, essentially, whenever you are running with this coin block. And then you had the ability to travel by land or by sea using Plessy. And if you mastered the techniques of Plessy and the movement of Plessy, which I actually kind of am upset with myself that I didn't show it off in my LP, because once I finished playing the game and recording it, I started messing around, just playing with Plessy in the water, and I realized like there's actually ways to move Plessy faster and to avoid, Bowser's Fury blocks and Bowser's Fire Blast, especially when it comes to fighting him in the second half of the final boss fight. So I was like, Kind of upset with myself because I should have figured it out earlier, but nonetheless, at least it's something that I know now, because next time I play the game, whether it's a speed run against someone else or whether I just play it for fun again, at least I'll know how to do it. But overall, I thought the game was fantastic. Totally would recommend it to anybody, especially those of you guys who are huge Super Mario Odyssey fans. You will not be disappointed. Although the game is quite short, I feel like for first-time players, it'll take you at least 4 to 6 hours to complete. On the day before it came out, so Thursday actually, I saw a couple people live stream it. I watched Munching Orange play the game from start to finish, but he never 100%ed it, and it took him like 4 hours just to beat the story, essentially. And then I saw Abdallah Smash play the game towards the end of his stream. I think he was about maybe like 20 shines off from beating the game, something like that. And by the time he completed the game 100%, he was already like almost 6 hours into his live stream. And then same thing with Crescendo. I watched a little bit of his live stream when he streamed it a few days ago, and it was about like almost 6 hours. Now, mind you, some of these guys are actually really good at Super Mario games, so if it took them that long for the first time to play it, obviously the game is not a short game by any means. It's only once you've played the game and then you play it again, you realize how short it is, because you know what to do and what to expect. But for the most part, it is a decent game. Like, it's a few hours in length, and for you to get that on top of 3D World, to me, that's totally worth double dipping and getting 3D World once again, especially if you already bought it on Nintendo Wii U. If I had to choose between 3D World and Bowser's Fury as to what is the better game, unfortunately, I would have to say 3D World, and the reason I say unfortunately is because 3D World is a longer game. It is definitely by far a much longer game. Bowser's Fury mode, though, in my opinion, is a funner game. Like, so far, I had more fun playing that game, I feel, and I had more excitement playing that game than I did 3D World. Now, this isn't taking away from 3D World when I say this. Obviously, 3D World is, you know, one of the GOATs, but still, Bowser's Fury mode was just that good. It was such an amazing experience. There were a couple things, I guess, you could complain about that made it annoying, but you know, for the most part, I enjoyed it. I really don't have any complaints about the game. I feel like it was more like Odyssey, and that's why I guess I really liked it a lot more, because, you know, I felt like I was playing a different kingdom in Odyssey. If you were just to tell yourself this is the Cat Kingdom in Odyssey, you'd probably believe it, bro, honestly. Like, it does feel like Odyssey, and it gets me excited to see what Nintendo has in store for their next Super Mario 3D World game, whatever it is, whatever, if it's Odyssey 2, Galaxy 3, if it's a new game entirely, I'm sure it's going to be great, and I hope that they actually use the same, like, similar mechanics to how this game played, and same thing with Super Mario Odyssey. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. I thought I'd just make a little update video talking about my final opinions on Bowser's Fury mode. It's a great game. Go check it out if you haven't already checked it out. If you don't want to buy the game, you just want to watch the LP, go back and watch the LP. You know, my playthrough of the game wasn't that long, honestly, you know, so you'll enjoy it, I think. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you guys very soon for Super Mario 3D World Online Multiplayer. Peace.